Hi, this is Ink, and this is Game Development in Godot. Today we'll be trying to work on connecting with the UI we made with data layer, which holds all information for the game logic. Yeah, and we'll see how it goes. Okay. Yeah, hopefully the stream quality is good enough. As I changed a bit of the settings, we'll see. Yeah. We made the UI, which lets us draw on the grid. Okay, let's see if it works. Yeah. We can say what kind of cell, what kind of state, and what kind of thingy does it do. Yeah. And we now need to connect it somehow. Oops. Okay. Slow start, but that's okay. Open the code. The level designer has a control, has a list of cell states, and has a bunch of buttons. Though not the designer, not the level designer has the buttons. The buttons are contained within the grid container UI. It creates a bunch of buttons. So probably need to save the references to these buttons. So I could extract information for them. Yeah, well, probably. Prop. Good buttons. New list. In the ready, we call update grid. In the clear grid, button. Grid buttons clear. Though for this one, I would be getting the reference from here. Yeah, currently it just grabs all the children. Hi there! What does DFO means? I have no idea. Yeah. Okay, we clear the buttons. In here, button press, we add the method, add the child. We add the reference to those buttons. We need to add the child, so it would be what? Instantiated, I think. Perhaps. Okay, and yeah, that would add the reference for the grid buttons. Yes. And a child. Clear children. Set icons. Clear grid. Grid buttons dot clear. So instead of calling get children method, which could be like the grid has additional elements, it would try getting other elements. I should be calling only the buttons clear. So instead of, because the get children is the inbuilt method. Yeah. So for each grid buttons, we instantiate the button itself, and this way we prevent it from removing something else, which is like maybe will be there or will be not. Okay, the seems to be audio seems to be okay. Clear children. It's only called in here. That should be renamed. Clear button children. Okay, so we would have the reference to the buttons. Update grid. Somewhat okay, and can't really do anything different here. Get the hover button. Here I already have the reference to grid buttons. So grid buttons would be like here. First, the default button, which is hovered. Yeah. Get the hovered button. Same in here. We're using method getChildren, which is not okay. So it would be just nope. Grid buttons. Mm-hmm. And grid button pressed makes more sense. Clear button children. Clear grid. Set options, set grid size. Okay. So, how do we bind the model? Set options. Grid container UI. And the data layer. It's basically like use MVVM pattern. This is UI, which is just for UI setting UI types. Then would be, I guess, view model, which would handle all of the data combinations. Maybe. And the model itself is the logic, which is currently binary grid. It's called binary grid. And for example, level designer, what would have it? Have level designer, which just has a grid. So maybe grid container would have bindable. I'm not sure. Okay, try something just to get started. BI grid container view model. Maybe. generate type. Grid container. I don't know. Does this one needs to be view model, or view model needs to have this method? Okay, I know, I think I know. If I go to, where the hell did it create it? Oh, here. Would have method bind, which should take general object to bind. Hello. I don't know if I'm doing this in the right way. Maybe I could use some NuGet package in this case. It's something. It's moving. We'll see. Do I need this? Do I not? Bind. But see, it's fairly okay. Like, I can show the current progress. Come on, switch the window. Okay. I hope that will compile. Yeah. Loading. Yeah, so I drew some sprites. I can select different types. I can then just draw them. And if I need it, I can clear them. Yeah. And I'm trying to like combine the data from the drawing interface into the data layer. And then, yeah, probably saving. We'll see how it goes. But there's something here. At least the basic game mechanics is just making like circuits. For example, we have input circuits, we have output circuits here, we have fixed circuit here, and we have neutral here. So in this pattern, and when you run the simulation, based on how you place those inputs outputs and fix, the output cell will change, so it will just simply propagate. For example, if you go like this and it will be like this, propagation would be like stays the same. This one aligns to A and it goes like this, and you just make a bunch of puzzles from that. And yeah, that would be mostly base mechanics, and probably later even some ability to make different levels, custom levels. And I do have plans on wrapping around some story behind it, so maybe just collecting different types of cells, repairing equipment, but that comes way later, because it's the story. Story often does not matter. Story matters later. So now just data coding, bind, unbind, maybe update. Nope. Update, maybe. Okay, that would be base view model. Container view model would have interface to our binary grid. Grid model. We'll add method. Does it need to be a defined method or no? Yeah, that would set the model reference. Maybe a method for like base. Binary grid, I would take a list of buttons, or like I enumerable of button. Yeah, what I do not like that Godot has 0 interfaces. It's all base classes. Yeah. Buttons. Why are you screaming? Oh, it cannot. Lies, it can. To binary grid, I have a comment. Takes in a list of buttons from UI and translates them to binary. Let's see. Can you add the reference? Good questions. How do you add the reference to classes inside the tags? I never learned that. cref. cref? Okay, finally. And then this one would not be the binary grid, maybe just...
Hello there.
Oh, thanks for the follow. Nice. First time notice that my alerts are working. Good. Good. Okay, the binary grid. Buttons. So it would be binary grid model. There should be probably method for saving and loading. Probably. So void coding and saving binary grid to file. This is how you prototype the code, with interfaces. Otherwise, if you're using just classes, it becomes a bit bothersome, because, I guess, I don't know, it becomes a bit more complicated, because you try down some things, you cannot just leave empty methods, or just have a bunch of not implemented exceptions to just catch mistakes. That's, I think. Okay. So we should have save, load, simple. Our binary grid. Grid will be load method. should have a string of default path. Is there a file path? Not sure. Let's double check it. Path. Yes. Okay. Path. System.io. Default path. Oh, you cannot use it. Okay. Well, you string them. Good old string. Default path. File name. File path. And the void, or more like bool. Save. It will be a list. Or more like save binary grid. We'll see. Save binary grid, and we need then and we also will need to have a method to save everything, every information. Save level. Save binary grid self-explanatory, which just passes binary grid and it will save a JSON. But saving as level is more complicated. Saving data such as binary grid, initial conditions, and solution. The binary grid. The binary grid. Maybe it's okay. base view model. Let's see if I need this one. Then UI does not need to do anything. Likely. Although no, it does need to have extra method. I think. Grid buttons. Because currently, if we call update grid, it would clear anything, and you will be losing the data. So I don't know if I directly set the grid buttons, it would auto update, like the textures and the data, or do we need to call anything else? We'll see. Let's actually just comment this out. You figure out if updating see grid buttons updates textures automatically. Could be. This is if you're taking VPF as example. It's like two-way, one-way binding where it handles the updates. Like if you change the text, maybe the model does not change because there is no binding or the binding isn't correct. Or if you change the value within the code, it does not represent the visual value because again, the bindings. They're quite complicated and could cause quite a bit of hassle. Okay. So, level designer. Type buttons, update buttons. Public I grid container view model. Grid VM. I'm kinda reluctant of using. Okay. We do have a thingy for. Wait, there is a scripts for dependency injection. Like this one. But dependency injection node only adds into the node itself. Let's double check what this actually is saying, because then would not need to initialize it in, I don't know. inject regular node, input service, size service, custom resource. Oh, it would be just inject. Cool. Documentation. Yeah, and you just add the Benson registration node to the scene. So in this case, if I say void inject members. So that should automatically create my view model. And maybe I don't need to add additional constructor like in VPF. I don't know. Never tried it. So my cat is a trash panda, and she likes to climb into the trash can to chew on plastic bits. Yes, you're a trash panda, son. Yeah. Trash panda. She looks like, yeah. She's a ragdoll. She's a cute one. I cannot show you like this, I can show you like the video. Like... That was my kitty. Yeah, small one. Where was I? Oh. Services, I need to free my cat. Cat is freed. Add transient or add singleton? I think it's just add transient. There's a way of like trying to bind both of them, but I'm not sure. It may be a bit too much of a scope. Services dot add singleton. I'm gonna do a file servers. That's not correct, because these types actually does not exist yet. public. Implement all the methods. Nice. Same here. Nice. Wait, that's not correct. Grid container remodel. That's nope. That's the stuff. So technically we already can like write tests on this, but at the moment I don't want to. Don't want to. Okay, so that would be the model, which should be automatically created every time I create level designer. I think. Grid VM. Already. So Grid VM is after it's been readied, I guess. So could say Grid VM bind. Grid container. But grid buttons. This is, I really don't like this, like possible of null reference. No, because it's checked here. Maybe no. Nullable, disable. Yeah, this one could be solved like this. Okay. Maybe. So it would bind the container with VM. And then when the change happens, option item selected, set cell options. Okay, that's just set cell, get type rect. Get state rect. Okay, not this one. Update button pressed. Okay. So when I update the button, press update button, it should rebind it, or it would be already binded. I think it would be already binded. Yeah. I don't think we need to do anything else. Well, likely. Mm-hmm. Okay. So run it. Get the crash, because a lot of things are not implemented yet. Update. It didn't crash. Interesting. Maybe because the grid VM is null? Let's try restarting the debugger. And the oh, maybe because the level designer does not have the scene for dependency injection. Yeah, level designer should have a Control-Shift-A. Dependency injection registration node. Okay. We might as well just also do regular registrations. Okay, ready. Grid VM is not null. Good. Which means the registration worked. It should throw an error now because it's not implemented. Yes. Good. Then grid container view model does not actually need to have fileless servers. The binary grid. Yeah, does not need to have it. But the level designer does. I hate that. Like, why Shift delete row actually copies the deleted row. Okay, if we go to implementation, it's too hot in the fan. And it does not need the file service. Direct model. Okay. The design then here. I need to implement the bind method. Bind. Simple call. Create model. Bind. Create. Wait. That's not right. That's not right. It binds buttons. That's not correct. We bind the buttons to the grid. Bind buttons. Because I would take the buttons and then change the references. Maybe? Yeah. Oh, it is buttons. Oh no. Create model. Maybe need it, maybe no. So if I don't. Create buttons. Change the tab. Mhm. Bind, object to bind. Have the buttons. Have the reference to the buttons. Here I don't think I can make the make what? Okay. Leave it also set get. Get set one be bind. Just can't do it. Instead of this one, I would say paste object bind is not of type. Type of unbind other right argument exceptions. It would just throw argument exception anyways. Technically you cannot cast it to I types, you need to cast it to direct types. Let's say a list. Types. This one isn't needed anymore. Then take our grid model equals to binary grid buttons. Yes. So now they should be both binded. So we have both references of like the list, and then we translate the list to the buttons themselves. Yeah. How do we do the translation? We need to know the dimensions. We'll check. Get grid dimensions. Wait, but this is not nullable. So if it's empty or is null, we'll throw an exception. If it's empty, should be returning 0, 0. List dot count divided by wait, let's count. Yeah, number of sequences. Mm-hmm. Rows and columns. I don't know if it's a square. It'll be 1, 1. Or I don't know. Don't really care at the moment. And return. Can I name the tuples? I can't name it. Rows. Rows. Good. False. False. Integrate dimensions. And if we check the method from here, yeah, rows columns. Good. We get the dimensions of the grid. Good. We never have cell states or rows and columns. Yeah, initialize as empty. Also in grid model, the binary grid can be null type. Buttons also can be null type. And this one also null type. Let's say initialize at runtime, not in constructor. Actually, here is kinda not correct. I'll be back in a bit. Okay, create a binary grid. Then we need to initialize the grid with the button states. Close const binary grid. Nope. It's a row. Row plus the typical thingy. A binary grid does not also holds the information on the input type, as at the moment I don't know. I do not know. So if I get buttons from list index, and then list index, not. Variable does not have index. Okay. Good to know. So we have analyze button. If we go back into the grid container UI, how can we say which state the button is in? Set icons in the ready, or like in the update grid. We set the So to start, every button will be empty. And every time we call to bind the grid or rebind the object, it would update the values. Things is getting much complicated, but that's what happens when you work with grids and not just a character running around the screen. And it is basically just running simulation, and simulations are hard. Generally, they are quite hard. Okay, so throws null pointer exception. We get the button. We can say the button from its children. Which is just two texture rectangles. Cell state. Current cell type. It's only by texture 2D. So, for example, if the button does not have any children, yes, it's always weird with these typings. Okay, if the button does not have children, if cell state yeah, I think I did have the typing somewhere. In the constants, maybe. But no, the constants. Okay. So analyze button, but get children. Button. Right, get children returns now. I don't know. Maybe. The button should return count 0. So state equals empty. So that's one thing. Cell type also empty. Current cell type. Analyze button. Generate method. So first we need to extract the texture rectangles. Cell type. In the level designer or okay, so it should have valid names, which we just defined in the right. So it's not entirely good way to do this. What? Text. Okay. Let's go back, the valid names. This are base path. Equals stress sprite CA cell states. Okay. Kinda funky, but should be fine. Up, down, left, right, right. Inning. So texture rectangle. Get the reference to the texture rectangle. Base for nope. Cool. What's the icons? I think my mouse is not aligned. Oh no, that's just Godot. User interface. Node texture 2D. Texture rect has a property texture. Children. Cast a list of texture 3D. Can't. Right. It takes texture 3D. The children. List of texture 3D. Right. You can just do this. Analyze button, get children. Type with the to list. What? Yeah, it at least will let me get a resource path. Equals to base path verbatim string. I think it's verbatim. If you remember, base path not entirely. Ow. Base path malloc file name and base format. Oh, my cat cannot decide where she wants to go. Anyway. Thick shit. Damn. The resource path contains I don't think that the rectangle has a name, so first of default we have valid file paths. Everything is actually in the same folder, so yeah. Permits. add another folder, so types, and move it. Move to cell types, sprites, QC, cell types. Move it. Okay, that worked. Then copy the empty. Cell types, copy. Okay. Then in the cell type list, change the window, update the empty one. With this one. Okay. Then this is not texture rect, maybe just texture rect path. The register's path contains base path. And then texture path. Move now, delete. Sub string. Now remove not remove you need to delete the base path. Split. Get insert, no. Join. Add, replace. Replace. Base path, but nothing. Okay, so we'd have a state string. So we could say false. Return the soul state. Let's take file names. Yeah, sure. Count 0 or valid file names. That could also be any. Okay, then return cell state empty. It's fairly self-explanatory. But otherwise, try casting several names. Okay, C#, I get, num get names. Okay. Num dot get names. Get values. There's no get value, but there get names. Get names of a type cell state. So we have the names. If it cannot find any of these, just return it. This will definitely need to have a test, because it's a bit complicated, a bunch of casting types and just indexing. So a test for this function is necessary. Okay, try cast. So we have cell state names. If it does not contain, we return empty state. If no, not like this. Hmm. Right, that's a byte. Should not be a byte, should be just a value. And try powers type and type, yeah. Oh, because it's out. Okay. I don't like fry parts, just parse. Then it does not use the out, which is generally, I would say, kind of confusing. Maybe just let it crash, basically. Then we just return cell state. Yep. Well, that's a good one. So it would check if all the nums contain it. If it does not contain, returns null. That should prevent crashing. If it does contain it, then we just parse it straight to a num. So if the texture button has state A, it becomes cell state A. Okay. yeah, I think that should be okay for today. So we could say same. We do need add cell type and num to primary grid. Add method for cell type from bottom. Write test for cell state. Yep. And yeah, continue, I guess. Still quite a lot of things to do. A bit of optimizations, for example. Because also finish up the bind grid. Yeah, I think that should be okay. Let's check out the committed stuff. Let's commit this one. And level designer scene. Over it. So paste on file. And create container. Okay. Close it. And yeah, I think that should be okay. So visually, no progress, like identical. As you know, sometimes just make a lot of stuff visually. You can show the progress, but showing the progress on the code is a bit more difficult. Like, we created this difficult method just to figure out what the button holds, what kind of information, so it would be like kind of separated from UI. Kind of not. We'll see if it works. And yeah, that would be it for YouTube. So I guess see you next time on the YouTube. I'll be continuing on the same thing.